what is his name? The gunner, Mad the Gunner. Please, I've drawn a blank. I have a mind fart. He's fantastic. War Drummer. War Drummer has one of the best productions. War Drummer sounds like a nice sirloin steak over a fire. Yep, buddy. War Drummer, fantastic.
Turn it up.
And hopefully the brain attached to the mouth, right? The brain, more important than the mouth is the brain. The brain is much more important.
He is the brain, and I am the mouth.
Why America Died. A special message for members of the New Society. You say, what is that? The New Society. Us. We are the New Society. Christ-centered, Bible-focused, leading us back. Why America Died. I wanted to give this section the title, Loving Yourself. But Christians have been so conditioned to think loving yourself is a sin. We are told that we are so valuable that the Father sacrificed His own Son for us. But then, after we are saved, to have any self-esteem, a love for oneself, is a grave sin. Why? Why did America die? We stopped loving our neighbors. We did not occupy as commanded. What? You don't believe me? Well, I hope you keep reading. I hope you stick around. Listen, I'm telling you, there are secrets. I'm about to reveal secrets to you. If you love the Lord, you need to listen. We stopped understanding that loving our neighbor was loving ourselves. America hates itself. America became gluttonous, waddling in self-pity, using victimhood, entitlement, as an excuse to live like a pig. This is the direct result of people's failure to love themselves enough to believe they deserve to be better. That's true conservatism, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Americans love themselves, but not with God's love. Each person's failure to see themselves as a work of art created by God to do great things for Him is the issue at the base of all our problems. Not only in this country, but in the world, we stopped loving our neighbors as ourselves because we stopped loving God. And all you do, even when you sit down to eat or drink or whatever you do it all to the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. That is quite the command when you think about it. It is the greatest command in a nutshell. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. It's the same thing. Whatever you do it for the Lord. Most of the time, the reason we don't like or even loathe ourselves is because we don't measure up to some ideal painted for us by the world. This, ladies and gentlemen, is idolatry in its most basic form. Trying to live up to some ideal. It is covetousness. And worst of all, you need to hear me on this one. You know, we always talk about self-sacrifice, and we, narcissism, and you can't love yourself, but you got to hear this. Listen to this. Listen. And worst of all, what did Jesus say about murder? If you are just angry or hate someone, you are guilty of murder. So, if you don't love yourself, like yourself, whatever, you're committing a kind of self-murder or suicide. I say it'd be a good thing if I stop doing that, right? We loathe ourselves as a country. What's going to happen, right? We're going to die. I've got some incredible truths to share with you right now. Some incredible truths to end the very thing that is stopping you from being who you want to be. And it's okay to want to be something other than what you are, as long as you are stepping up, bettering yourself. You don't want to go backwards. Listen to this. Philippians 1:9. This is crazy. If you can grab hold of what I'm about to tell you, your life is going to change completely. God is going to bless you in a way that your understanding of things is going to increase tenfold. Listen very carefully. Philippians 1:9. And this I pray, that your love may abound still more and more in real knowledge and all discernment, so that you may approve the things that are excellent, in order to be sincere and blameless until the day of Christ, having been filled with the fruit of righteousness which comes through Jesus Christ, to the glory and praise of God. All right, check this out. Notice that this verse is about love and yourself. Look at it again. I pray that your love, and so that you may approve. And oh my gosh, look at the use of the passive voice. This is so interesting. If you can follow along with me, I'm telling you, you'll be blessed if you can follow along. All right, we'll start right here. Follow along with me. You'll be blessed, I'm telling you. Unlike you've ever been blessed, I promise. This is like amazing stuff here. You're not going to hear it anywhere else like this. You're not. Right here. Notice that this verse is about love and yourself. Look at it again. I pray that your love, and so that you may approve. And oh my gosh, look at the use of the passive voice of having been filled. Filled. It is a past participle in a passive voice. Yeah, you need to learn these things. Having been filled. Having been filled. The passive voice is used when an action is being done to the object, emphasizing the object over the subject. The subject is love. The object is your. I pray that your love, so that you may approve. Okay? You following me? Because if you can grab hold of this, it's cool. It's really, really cool. The subject is love. The object is the reader, the recipient. I pray that your love may abound still more and more. This indicates the incredible truth that the Christian does not fill themselves. They are being filled. They have been filled. Being filled by whom? Listen. Well, Paul is praying to God that their love abounds. Being filled with what? You quickly answer, with the fruit of righteousness. It's right there. But that is not the answer. That is not the answer. The fruit comes from righteousness. What does Paul pray abounds? Love. Not the world's love, but this God who is love. Do you see the difference now? And this phrase, fruit of righteousness, whose righteousness? This is not the result or fruit of your righteousness. This is Christ's righteousness, the one doing the filling. It is the fruit of Christ. Remember in 1 John 2:1, and that this fruit comes from that seed, our sperma. Remember that? Those born of God cannot sin because his seed is within them. Remember that? Remember that? And this fruit comes from that seed. Fruit. When this love abounds, this fruit of righteousness, when the righteousness of Christ abounds in a person's life, it is accompanied by real knowledge and discernment. And this I pray, that your love may abound still more and more in real knowledge and discernment. Real knowledge and all discernment, approving of things that are excellent. What the heck is that? Approving of things that are excellent. This is a truth. When you abound in God's love, you are going to encounter excellent things. Excellent things. Things that are of God are excellent things. And I'd say, imagine all the things that could mean. Approving of things that are excellent. Imagine all that could mean. Why? Because it is God's love that is the conduit. What is your general attitude toward others? What is your general attitude? Someone needs to hear this. I mean, right now, I'm sorry, I'm not that type, but I just get this overwhelming feeling that was like someone's got this thing with a lady has some kind of thing with a girlfriend. And this is for you. Sorry. What is your general, this is for you, ma'am, whoever you are. What is your general attitude toward others? What is your general attitude to yourself? That's what we're talking about here. And let me ask you, wouldn't the commands apply to how you treat yourself? Right? Check it out. This is the problem. We do not treat ourselves according to God's law. We've committed a kind of communal suicide. Think about this for a moment. Let's take the command, love your neighbor as yourself. My God. Those words, the answer, they are the answer to every single problem in the world. Repaired and is found in those words, love your neighbor as yourself. Every problem in the world, repaired or unrepaired, it's supposed to say. And as I have told you before, a truer rendering of the verse would be, love your neighbor as you are now loving yourself. Love your neighbor as you are now loving yourself. Right here. And as I've told you before, a truer rendering of the verse would be, love your neighbor as you are now loving yourself. Now, see, again, this person, you're out there. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I don't do this stuff. But it's here. And there's one person that the Lord is telling this to, because you got something going on with somebody else, and it needs to end. Listen, it's about yourself. You don't love yourself. And as I've told you before, a truer rendering of this verse would be, love your neighbor as you are now loving yourself. Not only implying the correlation between how a person loves themselves and other people, but because this command comes after the command to love God with everything. The greater implication is that the only way to properly love yourself and your neighbor is to have God involved and at the head of it. This is what is meant by, where two or more are gathered, I am there also. If you don't get what I just shared, that's crazy. But the first command must be in play for it all to work. Right here, the first command must be in play for it all to work. The more greater, the one that must come first. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Then with that same love you have for God, love your neighbor and yourself. How did America die? Why did America die? First command must be in play for it all to work. The more greater, the one must come first. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Then with that same love you have for God, love your neighbor and yourself. And are you ready for this? This is the heaviest truth, heaviest thing in the universe. If you love the Lord, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, you won't even get it. Our love, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, our love for God. Ma'am, the one woman that I'm talking to, again, I don't know you, I don't know anything about it. It's right here. This is for you. This is being told to you. Our love for God is demonstrated by our obedience to Him, right? If you love me, you'll keep my commandment, Christ said. Obey. You heard that. Now here we go. Our love for God, that is our relationship with God. You better listen. This is everything. Our love for God, that is our relationship with God, is demonstrated outwardly by how we love people. Did you catch that? How you love people. That is the message of 1 John. This is the true meaning of that famous saying of the Master, whatever you do to the least of these, my brethren, you do to me. And most of you have been misinterpreting that passage. And I'm going to show you why. This love of God's goes so deep. And when I write deep, I mean so deep down to the least of these. Least to whom? Not least to Jesus, right? Most certainly not. The word means small in regards to amounts. So it isn't so much in regards to those in the dregs of society, our small children, as much as it is those who are the least important to you. You see how that takes care of everybody? That the least of these on your important list. The ones that mean the least to you. The ones that mean the smallest amount to you. And when that breaks down, the nation breaks down. And that's what happens on social media. This is broken down. The love goes so deep, and when I write deep, I mean so deep down to the least of these. It isn't as much in regards to the dreg society or small children, but least as far as amount. You see how this takes care of everybody. That is what is meant by how deep the Father's love for us is, and how it goes into every aspect of our lives. His love extends into everything, and He is this love. Here's another crazy one for you. Remember the verse in 1 John that says God is love, right? And have you ever heard preacher types like myself ask, yeah, but is love God? And then say, God is love, but love is not God. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that? You see, the devil wants to keep you from hearing what I'm saying right now. I'll just tell you that. Yep, I'm talking to you. I just got somebody just, I just felt it. I've never experienced this like I am tonight. I'm not that type. I just got another like ping, like that's what I would call it. That someone needs to hear what I'm about to say and they're not paying attention. Remember the verse in 1 John that says God is love. Have you ever heard preacher types ask, yeah, but is love God? And then say, God is love, but love is not God. Well, I'm about to throw a huge monkey wrench into this. Listen to me very carefully. God's love is a thing. It is a thing. And if you want the Bible verses to look up to prove what I'm saying, it's right there on the screen in front of you. God's love is a thing. It is His nature. And what's crazy, God impregnates you with it. I know that sounds crazy and I know that sounds heretical, but I've read it to you many times. 1 John 3:9. Anyone born of God cannot continue to sin because his seed abides in him. Meaning, the Greek word is sperma. It's his nature. It's this God seed that is in you. That's marvelous. Don't cheapen it. God impregnates you with His nature when you want it. And remember, the Greek word for seed is sperma. He impregnated us with His sperma. His nature, His love, which is Him. This love, this agape love, is God, ladies and gentlemen. It's not, God is not the love per se, but the love is God. That's Him. That's His nature. That's Him. He impregnated us with His nature, His love, which is Him. This love, this agape love, is God. It keeps people safe. John 17:5. It protects you from yourself and other people. Psalm 6:8. Keep you out of trouble. The entire book of Proverbs. It can be felt and experienced. 1 John 4:12. This is the reality behind where two or more are gathered, I am there also. Matthew 18:20. Because that love that God puts in you is part of Him. And when two or more are gathered, that love comes out. This force, right? Check it out. Check it out. Why did America die? I just told you that God's love can be felt, it's a thing, it's His nature. He impregnates us with it. It keeps us safe. It protects us from ourselves and other people. Keeps us out of trouble, and then that it can be felt and experienced. Why did America die? Because when God is gone, love is gone. You need to realize that. Because God is a physical power source. He is the love flowing in and through believers wherever they are gathered. Not just church, not just Bible studies, in families, in markets, in businesses. Those who love God, spreading it. In a country that says, in God we trust. But it is not there anymore. So the statement, God is love, but love is not God, is wrong. Only in that God is physically experienced in and through this love. Love is the conduit, God's love, not man's love. God's love is the conduit between eternity and this realm. It is Him, but God has been removed. And God is love. Love God above all. Love your neighbor as yourself. Law and order will flow naturally out of godly people loving their neighbors and those neighbors spreading it. A virus of God's love. Why did America die? Why did America die? Because we failed to love ourselves, because we didn't love God. And you say, speak for yourself. I never stopped loving God. Well, unity is all or nothing. All or nothing. Please go to my website. Check it out.